Hello, hello, it is the Trading Captain, and I'm currently sitting up $8.59. Now, it's not surprising I didn't make that much. I only took 2 trades today, and these trades were only half size. If you're new here, this is day 3 of Trader Rehab, and I'm currently in the middle of recalibrating myself, so as a result, I am taking reduced size. So, with that out of the way, let's talk about what actually happened today. So, yesterday, we had a lot of momentum, huge moves. We had several 100% movers, and I was really going into today expecting more momentum like this. And what really happened was, this is fairly uncommon. This doesn't happen much, but we had a huge number of stocks move with no news. Like, for example, this one moved with no news. And we were seeing this pattern repeat over and over where stocks would spike on the lowest amount of volume, no news, and they would immediately just sell off. And I speculate that this happened because we had the huge hot day yesterday. There was a lot of FOMO and hype driven around that. So people were really pushing into the day, basically just jumping on the first thing to move. Didn't matter if it had news, didn't matter what it was. If it breathed, people were jumping on it. And as a result, we would see these spikes, but there would be no news behind them. There's no reason for them to be here, so they would just sell off. And that really seemed like a theme today. I was recording and keeping track, and I ended up tracking about 7 stocks that were doing this. And this is very irregular for this kind of environment, at least to this scale. So this was really the theme of today, and it made it very dangerous to jump on anything that moved because they were all selling off. So I ended up taking 2 trades. The first one was on STKH. This is one where I was looking at this stock. It had a huge sell-off. This was a no-news mover. And I was attempting to catch this bounce here at around this level, the 220s to $2 level. There was support in this area, so I was really looking to see if we could get a bounce here. Considering how quickly this sold off from 320 all the way down to 2 in 1 minute, essentially, that's a pretty crazy move. And I really expected a better recovery than this, so I bought into here, and I sold half on this initial pop, and I was really waiting for a recovery, and we didn't get that. So as it turns out, the stock did eventually recover, but it didn't do it until the day session. So unfortunately, I had to take a small loss on this because the second half I did end up selling for a loss. So unfortunate how that works out, but reality is it's just sometimes you just can't keep holding. So moving on, the next trade was LCFY. Go ahead and pull that one up here. And this one was also pretty crazy. So this one did have news, but on the news release, this went up immediately 100%. And again, this is just the theme we had today where anything that moved, people were pouncing on it. And if it had news behind it, people pounced even harder. So yeah, this immediately popped up. But again, this pop wasn't really justified. The news was mediocre at best, and as you can see, this ended up selling off quite significantly, and I ended up timing for this bounce here. Did get the bounce, and this was one I had pre-planned out. Again, daily support. We saw a bit of overextension here. I thought this was a good bounce point. We did hit it. And yeah, it ended up selling the whole way off. Now, very surprising to me, this fully recovered, and I did not expect this at all, especially considering a move like this. But this just really shows the volatile market we're in right now, where these kind of whiplashy moves can happen where you completely overreact, completely underreact, and then completely overreact. It's just very chaotic right now. Good for opportunity, but very hard to stay safe and stay disciplined, certainly. I do want to touch on one more, which is VERO. This was the main move we had today, at least from what I could tell. This one made a very impressive move, right? This is, I mean, this is an actually just absolutely crazy move. So we're still seeing stocks that are making these huge moves if they have something behind them of substance. So going into next week, my real focus is just understanding that we are still what looks like in a hot cycle, but we had a very punishing day today where if people were jumping on the first thing that moves, they were getting punished heavily. So I am a little more hesitant to just observe anything that moves for an entry criteria, right? I was already hesitant today, but seeing that evidence today that things were just rolling over makes me even more hesitant to jump on a no news candidate that moves. So that's really what I'm going to be focusing on next week, going into Monday, or I guess Tuesday, because the market will be closed. But yeah, that'll be really what I'm focusing on. But yeah, that pretty much wraps up the recap. If you liked what you saw here, please do leave a like. Helps me out. I do stream every day that the market is open. So if you're interested, maybe subscribe. But yeah, I'll go ahead and edit here. Thank you guys for watching.